4 real meetings a year with the key people that they're expecting to help them grow. I'm wrong, but don't worry about it. I'm talking about real meetings. I'm talking about I ain't talking about what we raised Sunday. I ain't talking about is the bills paid. I ain't talking about who gonna cut the grass. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about real meetings with agendas, goals, missions, strategy. Because if you don't have consistency meetings, vision casting, strategy sessions, goal setting sessions, if you're not constantly having those meetings with the key people on the team that you put together, you are not setting yourself up for growth. So don't tell me, or I can't tell me that I'm really trying to grow when I look on my calendar and I don't have no meetings for strategy, no meetings for vision casting, no meeting for productivity reports, no meeting for accountability, no meetings to call my leaders in and say, what did you do and what was our goal last 3 months ago and where are we today and did you do it? Why didn't you do it? Where are we in the process? What are the obstacles in our way? How are we going to overcome those obstacles? How are we going to tweak this to make it better? If it's not working, how are we going to fix it? If I am not having those kinds of meetings on a regular basis with my leadership team, I am not setting myself up to grow. You just going to grow through some oblivious influx of people that's just going to jump up in your church one Sunday because you can preach good. You can have all the events you want to have in your church, but if you're not having the right kind of meetings with the people in your church, if you're not casting vision, if you're not communicating to your leaders, because what you thought you communicated in the meeting in January, they forgot by February. And you saying, well, I don't need to have a meeting in February because we just had a meeting in January. That's the problem. You thought they got it. And by now you ought to know you have a meeting every year in January and none still ain't happening. So some ought to tell me that, okay, we had the meeting, but they didn't get it. And if they got it, they didn't get it clearly. And if they got it, they really didn't understand. And if they understood it, then there's something else happening that won't allow them to accomplish what they understood. So if I'm not going to continuously go back and focus on those areas and pay attention to details and get in there and dig in and find out what the problems are in the church, then I can't grow the church because it don't fix the problems just because I get up on Sunday and preaching don't fix problems. Are you with me? How many retreats do you have with your leaders a year? If you're really trying to grow if you are committed to growing your church, if you're a leader and you're committed to growing your church, I don't care if you ain't got but 2 good leaders in your church. How many times a year do you lock them in a room and say, we're not leaving here until we got some clear, definite goals and purposes that we need to accomplish to take this vision where it belongs? If you're not having at least 2 retreats a year with the key people in your organization that you are considering and need to help you take your vision to the next level, you ain't preparing to grow. The average small ministry or the average ministry that say they're trying to grow do not have retreats. You do not have to talk to me. I could be wrong. I will accept the fact that I'm wrong, but I guarantee you I'm not. Why are we going to have a retreat? And this is what people say. This is what people say. You know what people say? We can't afford to go to a hotel and stay a couple of days and work on the vision of this church. You know what you can't afford? To have church. If you're not willing to spend money in vision casting and strategy and planning, you are not worthy of taking up the money on Sunday. Because if I'm going to take the money up, I have an obligation to spend time and money training the people that I want the money from. I know, I'm sorry. Hello, somebody. So, and I'm not saying everybody, okay, every year I have 2 retreats, one in December, one in June, religiously. Okay? I got a team of people that I hold responsible for oversight over all these ministries. Okay? I can't take everybody on a retreat, but I can take them. Okay? I may spend money for hotels and food and time. Okay? But if I value my vision, why am I making an investment in my leaders and putting them in a place to help me lead? But then I want to beat the leaders to death, talk about them like dogs, always upset with them. But what investment am I making in them to encourage them to support me? Okay, this year, my secretary came to me and said, you know what, Bishop, the money ain't there for us to do it like we usually do it. Because we usually go to Williamsburg, Virginia Beach, get away from the normal surroundings and settings, get away from the, get our minds away from, some things to do, relax and just decompress and fellowship and get to know each other outside the scope of the organization. Somebody say that's healthy. Say healthy. You take your people somewhere. Take them, they've been working and slaving and most of them volunteering and not all of them are on staff. And you just take them somewhere and just feed them a dinner. You say, I ain't going to pay no $500 for no dinner. So you can't take your people out and give them a steak once a year. No wonder your church ain't growing. You can't take your staff that work for you, the ones that you hold. I'm not talking about everybody. You can't do it for everybody. But I'm saying the ones that you put the burden on to take this ministry to the next, you can't take them out and buy them a T-bone and a baked potato and a salad. How many in here like T-bone? How many here like ribeyes and seafood and lobsters and shrimp and all that kind of stuff? Okay, so the leaders in your camp are not worthy of a dinner once a year. So if you ain't putting nothing in them, what's going to motivate them to support you? Why are you moaning, Bishop? The way y'all looking at me. It's moaning time. But it's true. And so my secretary came to me this year. She said, look, Bishop, because I got good people. And they're not going to let me abuse the situation. And I'm not trying to, but they're going to say, Bishop, we ain't got the money. We ain't got it in the budget. I said, okay. We still got to have it.